express the views and opinions of Acadiana Open Channel, Lafayette Consolidated Government, or Acadiana
Open channel.
Open Channel,
Yes, sir.
or Cox or LUS Fiber.
So, this morning, we're gonna have a whole lot of things going on. And, you know, we like to start off our show with, our prayer warrior. And I'm gonna give her a call and see if she's ready to, issue the prayer to you guys.
We're gonna do this slight word of encouragement, and then we're gonna try to get into an awesome show.
Yeah, we just want the Holy Spirit to be activated,
Yeah.
you know? So let me give her a call and see where we're at. Good morning, prayer warrior. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great.
Great.
How's everybody doing, the whole crew over here?
Oh, we wonderful. We got a lot of liquid sunshine going on right now, but it's
Nice.
yeah,
Raining?
yeah, it's a blessing. I call it holy water.
Wowie.
Yes.
Well, I have a good word for us today. And when I say I, that means God. When I say me, that means, when I say you, that means us.
Us. Thank
So, the word for today is, let me show you my way for this day. I will guide you continually so you can relax and enjoy my presence in the present. Living well is both a discipline and an art. Concentrate on staying close to me, the divine artist. Discipline your thoughts to trust me as I work my ways in your life. Pray about everything. Then leave outcomes up to me. Do not fear my will. For through it, I accomplish what is best for you. Take a deep breath and dive into the depths of absolute trust in me. Underneath are everlasting arms. The message can be found in Psalms chapter 5, verse 2 to 3, Isaiah 26, 4, Deuteronomy 33, 27. Have a blessed day, stay safe, and stay prayed up.
Thank you for activating our Holy Spirit. You know, thank you very much. You have a blessed day. And you know, I always tell you, you know, you the first one that activated my prayers back in me. You first one that activated the spirit that I needed to have back in me. Appreciate you, and I hope you're activating other people's spirit.
I hope so too, sweetie.
I know my co-host, Brother Keith, take these prayers serious because...
Yes, he do. I'm very proud of you and Keith.
Thank you. Hey, look.
Thank you for that beautiful word of encouragement all the time.
You are more than welcome, and I'm pleasure to do it.
All right, thank you. Hey, look, be safe, stay safe. We love you.
I love you guys too.
All right.
Also, Brother Jay, we're not going to forget about him.
All right, thank you.
All right.
All right, bye-bye.
You know, yes, just walking. But before we get into the show, I just got a little PSA. Back to school badge July 31st of this year at Harmon Park, and it starts at 3 o'clock and it goes until free everything. Tell a friend, bring a friend. For more info, you can contact Yolanda Edwards at 337-255-7690. And if you want to call into the show on today, the number is 337-347-7236. So it's 337-347-7236. I guess we're going to try to get it up on the screen.
Yeah, brother, as soon as I get the thumb drive. Okay, right.
Well, you know, a lot of times we have little glitches, you know, nothing serious, just one thing at a time, you know. And like I said, we had the guest coming in. He finally made it here. he don't look like he got too wet, so.
Then we got school board member District 3, Mr. Elroy Broussard. We kind of getting away from the city side, the charter, and we're going to talk a little bit about the education for our kids and their future.
Yes, yes. Good morning, Mr. Elroy.
Good morning to the two of you and to your listening audience. I apologize for being late. I misinterpreted where I was supposed to be. I was sitting in a little location.
He was at the Angry Bird Station.
Yeah. So I asked myself, I thought we had a show at 10 o'clock. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. So I apologize for being late. That's why I'm late.
You're not late. You're right on time.
I'm right on time.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And good morning to everyone out there. And glad to be here to learn some information on our educational system. And thank you all for inviting me.
All right. It's always a pleasure. You know, one of the questions, you know, I don't want to just get in and jump on.
Let's take the time for him to
Introduce himself and what he's all about, where he's sitting at, how long he's been on the school board, and he know what to do.
Yeah, well, you know, like to say I'm Elroy Broussard. I'm school board representative of District 3. I've been on the school board for 8 years, and glad to be serving the community in their capacity, and I appreciate my supporters out there who are supporting me, and trying to do the very best I can.
Great. You know, well, you know, you done gave the intro on yourself. Now let's get down to what's going on with the school, with the district, the redistricting. We hear there's going to be some redistricting for our kids in the neighborhood. I don't know how far it's going to go back, if it's just going to be District 3 and District 4. You know, you the one that got that plan for us.
Well, we had one meeting, called it a workshop, and it was introduced to us some of the lines that's being redrawn. And we're trying to keep the two minority district intact, and we're going to have several more workshops in order to draw the lines as far as satisfying as Dr. Shashon and I is satisfied with it. We didn't care for the lines that was introduced to us, and we made that known, and it was nothing harsh, no harsh words exchanged. We just said this is introduction, and we are going to look at that several more times before it's satisfactory to the two of us and for the other board members as well, because they want to keep the lines intact so we can have equal representation. The lines, because of population, you know as well as I do, we don't use certain words anymore, but the words we do use is similar to the words we don't use. so we got to be mindful of that. We've got to really be mindful of that. But we are certain that we're going to reach an understanding and keep our district intact.
So we know on the redistricting that there's been talks about expanding the board. Is that a possibility?
That is, I can honestly say that's not something that I would look at. I'm not in supportive of that, because it's just, you know, we are two minority district. We've got a third minority sitting on the board, but that's not a representative of a minority district. And I think that, you know, it's going to be more difficult for us to get something through. That's my belief. If we're going to expand the board, we're not expanding our population. We're not expanding the population that's going to support us. So it's going to be supported by somebody else. And we are not going to be, I don't think we're going to be satisfied with the voting outcome. That's my understanding. We got a good understanding now, and we are supported by the other 7 board members. But if we expand the board to 9 or 11 or 13, whatever the case may be, I think it's going to be harder for us to get things done.
Well, you know, I'm understanding what you're saying, because when Fix the Charter came around, this is what it was supposed to do for the minority community. This was supposed to be better than when cotton candy was first introduced to us. And it turned out to be a disaster. That was the worst thing that ever happened to the city of Lafayette other than consolidation. Consolidation was working before, it's not working now, you know, not like we're supposed to have it. So I appreciate, you know, you looking into that and not going along to get along.
Making sure our kids' education is not on the gamble.
Yeah.
I know I looked at Superintendent Irma Trosclair had an evaluation on June 9th from the board. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how our superintendent is doing?
I think she's doing a great job. I wouldn't, you know, it was hard to evaluate her because when she came in for a superintendent, we had the worst flood ever. We had an ice storm. We had COVID. It was one thing after another, and we could not get the ball rolling. We could not do what everybody wanted to do because of all of these things we had before us. And through all of it, we managed to survive. And through her leadership, this is my personal thoughts. That's through her leadership, we held on. We improved. We did better according to the numbers. And she has always answered the phone when I call. We have got a good working relationship, and she has a good relationship with every board members, with every board member that's on the board. And as far as, you know, like any employer, she's going to have some disagreement with the employees, and that's common in any business. And so everybody's not satisfied with her leadership. You know, we all think it should have been done this way or that way, but that's common. That's in every workplace. But as far as I'm concerned, she has done a good job, and she's doing a good job. And throughout all the struggles that we had, because everybody's in the ear, you know, and even though Dr. Shashaw and I said we need to do this, we need to do that, you know, there's somebody else behind the scenes say, why are you doing this and why are you doing that? So we all know the conversation before and after the conversation. But I think out of a 4, she's got a 3.67, something like that, which was most board members gave a good grade, a real good grade.
Okay, now we know the Louisiana High School Athletic Association decided to make all Lafayette Parish schools except Southside High select. A lot of people in the community been talking about that and want to know what it is. What's the difference from being select and unselect?
As far as I know, I'm not in the athletic program. As far as I know, because our schools are schools of choice.
Okay.
We did away with what, you know, some may call a neighborhood school. So we got students from every walk of the parish and the city that's going to different schools for different reasons, and that's why it changed to select. But I think that's all still on the table, and when it all boils down to it, they're going to change that pretty much back to what it originally was. But that's the reason why. That's the reason why it went to select, because the school of choice that we do have.
And I know there's talks about building a parish-wide athletic complex, and that would be a good thing. So that way, all your schools, say like a stadium can't be used at the time, or say like a gym can't be used. We have that complex to where we can host our events. our games, tournaments. Elaborate a little bit on the athletic complex and what's the plan?
Well, the plans are what I call is still in the pencil stage, meaning that we don't know exactly what we want to do and how we want to do it, but we know we want something done. It's an expensive process to hold a football game at every school. We play 5 games per year, 5 football games per year at schools, and some of them, you know, that one school in the city may play the other school and leave a bunch of them, bunch of stadiums empty. It's an expensive process to keep it up, and we feel we should move to a more modern day practice. Some of us feel we should move to a more modern day practice, a more efficient way of doing things. I guess the alumni are going to be angry because we want to decide not to do their home field because they left blood, sweat, and tears on the field for years. But we have got to move to a more efficient way of doing things. And we're looking to build a sports complex that's going to house our football program, baseball program, basketball, multi-purpose gym. All of that is on the table. We just got to try to come together to see what it's going to look like and exactly where it's going to be. But I'm one who's looking at doing away with what we once called the football, the home field advantage, the football field at each high school. Because we built a Southside High School, and we're not going to build a football field there. We're not going to build one there. We're building a new Lafayette High, and I'm, for one, is not willing to build a football field there. You know, I can say I. The rest of them may feel differently, but you know, I can say I. Because it's just a waste of money.
Not Lafayette High is in your district?
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Okay, question.
Yes.
We having new schools coming up.
One housekeeping business. We have the number up on the screen. You can call that number if you have any comments, questions, or concerns.
Okay. Good. I'm glad you're good looking out, Keith. But we're getting ready to build new schools. One of the new schools is that I have concern about because it's in your district, my district that I live in, and it's concern to me because it's really a neighborhood school. J. Wallace James, St. Antoine was all neighborhood school, and when they decided to build a new school over there on Willow, and it's called J. Wallace James, it went from a neighborhood school to a school of choice. Well, Truman be done the same way by it coming out of neighborhood. And the reason why I'm asking that, I don't want to see Truman be built on Willow and University and it become a school of choice or what you was talking about earlier, special school for special kids. Will they take the kids out? Would that take the kids out of the neighborhood school, or would they still be allowed to go to the new school? If not, why don't we just build a new school on the property that Truman is now, and when they get through building it, tear the old one down?
Well, we thought about all that. I thought about all of that. Let me say, I am from Truman. I grew up in Truman. I went to Truman School, and I let every board member and everybody in the conversation know that I am an alumni of Truman Elementary. And I told some of the people every time something go on in this part of town or that part, I don't want to name any, anything. Yeah. That if it's close to Truman, Truman get blamed. And over the years, Truman has gotten a bad name. we went from 550 students at Truman to a little less than 300. Because, you know, when we want to send our students to a school, oh, I don't want to go to Truman. Truman is a bad subdivision. So the numbers have declined for those reasons. And I spoke to the police department about that. You know, don't label every negative event that happened. Don't connect it to Truman. But when the issue came up to building a new Truman school, I am a traditional person. I wanted to tear down and build one there. But it would not change. We can build a $25, $26 million facilities, but if nobody comes there, it serves no purpose. It serves no purpose. And it would have taken years to if at all, bring the respect back to Truman. And so that the property came up, and it was close to the Truman area, and without losing its identity. And to answer your question, Truman is going to remain the way Truman is. It's not considered a neighborhood school. It's considered an early child care facilities. Now, what I'm trying to do is get the public informed as to how to go there. Unfortunately, either you have money or no money. The people in between, you know, can't afford it. And I'm saying that because, you know, if you got money to send them to a babysitter, then it's cheaper to send them to Truman because you can pay the monthly fees, whatever they are. But if you are economically challenged, you can send your child to Truman School. But if you are a working type family, it's going to be difficult for you to pay the fees to attend there. So I'm working on that to try to get as many of our financially challenged families there before it fills up with those that, you know what I mean. So I'm working on that. So I don't know exactly how much money it costs to go there, or how little amount of money it costs there to go there. But the legacy of Truman, and I speak to Miss Stephanie Francis all the time, and I ask her to see if she can locate some of the students. She's been there for quite some years, and Truman is a real successful facility. But when the students leave, they go to every school in the parish, because it's extremely well. When they leave from there, they're prepared for the next level. But because they don't go to the school next to the district, so where we can chart their success, it's almost impossible for us to see, you know, where's Wallace going. You don't know where Wallace is going when he leaves from Truman. So you don't know if Wallace became a successful entrepreneur or doctor, lawyer, or something like that, because, you know, he off the radar. So Truman is noted as one of the best facilities in the state, and it's being modeled. A lot of schools are being modeled after Truman, and so I felt that building it where we're building it now would be an asset to the community.
Now, we know it's the Willow and University location, and we know University is one of the major roads, and Willow and University is a traffic jam now. And then you got a school further down the street, which is J. Wallace James, and we know there's traffic backed up all around the back to University the other way. What is the traffic plans to alleviate the traffic? What are the plans for that? The going and coming.
Well, when it's all said and done, we on the original plans, they're supposed to have a roundabout at Willow and University, but that's out of the picture because of the amount of traffic that's there. It's going to be a tremendous backup. So that's out of the picture. What is in the future for University is turning lanes. When the school is built, there would only be right turns. There will not be, modern technology allows you to draw plans that's suitable for the area. And they're going to have what we call a maze on the property, for the parent pickup in the bus. The bus is going to pick up in one place, the parents is going to pick up someplace else, and it's going to be like a maze. Something that what they got at the Truman School now that allows traffic to be on the property and not on the street. So we learn as we go. We didn't have that problem at J. Wallace James because because we didn't think of it. It wasn't unnecessary then. Like you said, the J. Wallace James pickup is from the school all the way around the corner to university. And we're trying to work on that to eliminate that. And you know, I asked people, I got out there one day, because it's both schools, this Truman School that's being built is near my house, and the J. Wallace James is near my house. And I went out there and I asked a few people, you know, we've got satellite stops all over. You know, be easy to drop your child off and get on the bus, because our transportation, you know, it costs us millions of dollars to transport kids from point A to B, and it's not being utilized to its fullest because of the car riders. You know, and they sit out there sometime and they read the book, they read the paper. They say, well, I don't have nothing to do. You know, so we come sit, you know, to pick up their child, to bring them on the buses. The bus is just a couple of bus stops, a couple of blocks from their house. And, you know, I asked the question of several of them, and I got my answer. And most of them do that. We got the same problem that we had to solve at Alice Boucher. Traffic was backed up, you know, down Martin Luther King, blocking traffic. So we built this circle in there to allow them to pick up. So as we go, we learn more. You know, modern technology allow us to see our mistakes and build on it. But I spoke to the Director of Transportation, Louisiana State Director of Transportation, and he told me that the plans is in the works to build turning lanes, to build a few more turning lanes on University and to widen Willow. So I guess in a few more years all that's going to be done. But I'm pushing for them to do that in conjunction with building a school. We do all the traffic problem. We try to solve that now, so it won't interrupt the traffic flow at the school once it's built. And it's supposed to open school year of 2023.
Okay. And I know there's speculations about that piece of property being a floodplain area. Can you elaborate on that? And if it is, what's the necessary takes on making sure that the school don't flood?
Well, you know, in the 50 years I've been in the area, I can see if it floods there, Noah has to bring his boat.
Okay.
Because you know, I've never seen it flood there, and like I said, it's something that I see every day, and I've never seen it flood on that piece of property. University may flood in certain areas, but I've never seen the Willow flood. I've never seen that piece of property flood.
Well, that clears up the speculation.
It was all speculation.
And now I want to turn towards initiative y'all doing in the community to make sure that every low-income house or student don't go without any internet, or make sure that they can access the web for whatever they need to, whether it's for schooling or whether they just want to educate themselves. Can you tell us a little bit about that initiative?
Well, with the on the transformation zone, I think we've got 10 schools as transformation zone, and we are building this modern technology that's new to me, that is new to me, and to where we allow. I think now the students at J.W. Falk and the students at Northside, it's connected to the internet system that allows them to charm into the educational program, and we're expanding that through with the Pew Foundation and the Zalmo and Stella. They've invested a lot of money into that program, and it's going to expand. And we try to do that to give the low income. I try to find a better name than the challenging names that we give our our people.
Underserved.
Underserved. We have developed all of these names over the year that poor people. Just because you don't have money, that doesn't mean you're poor. You know what I mean? So whatever name that we choose to try to call them, I try to find a better name, but I can't. But anyway, we developed that. It started off at Holy Family Apartments till they build this what they call a moonshot, who are technically savvy, could help me with this. They got the moonshot to where everybody in the Holy Family Apartments connect to the internet. Okay. Now you cannot do TikTok or whatever else they do. So now, from what I understand, the J.W. Falk students and the Northside students are well connected to that.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yes, and it's funded by we spending some money toward that, but it's by private donation that they put up a lot of money as well.
Okay.
That sounds
Have
pretty good.
the new school board moved from the location yet?
Not yet.
They're still there.
Yeah,
What are the plans?
You were old.
I know the old the airport is
Yes.
looking at it.
Yes.
But what are the plans? Are they looked at? Did they look at designs or areas or?
That piece of property, according to the department, that piece of property came up at a real good price, and what they're saying is that the money we've got from the airport and the money that we purchased the new facilities for is just a wash. You know what I mean? And so there was no, millions and millions of dollars that was taken out to purchase the new facilities. And the new facilities going to house everyone that's in the old facilities now plus. We did a tour of it, I think sometime last year, and it's huge. It is real huge. And like I said earlier, the new technology, we've got to go to new technology, and this served the purpose better than these little washrooms that, if you ever been to the school board office, it's a maze. They build this little room, then they get some money, they build another room, then they get some money to build another room, and the rooms are so small and the hallways are small. I mean, it outlived its time.
So in other words, you're saying the new facility, it's about to have some roller skates to roll around in it to get to your destination inside.
Yes.
So what's the location of the new facility?
I can't tell you the address. I can only tell you about how to get there. If you go on that Evangeline Thruway, you take a right on Kali Saloon, Vera School Road, and I think it's the old stone off-field business to the left side, but it's right near the railroad tracks. It's not to answer some people's question. We didn't move to the other side of town. We did not. It's maybe a mile. It's maybe a mile from the facilities we are at now. It's not far at all.
I was just about to say that it's not too far from the current.
No, it's not too far from the current place now.
Now, I want to move to the national side. I know professors have came out and said by seeing that the Roe versus Wade decision of the Supreme Court was overturned. Now I know professors said they might go after other constitutional rights that was out there, such as Brown versus Board of Education. What's your take on Congress enacting legislation now to protect those rights?
Well, let me see. As far as the abortion concept of it. I am not in a position to tell no woman what to do. The only woman that I can discuss something I get with is my wife, and perhaps my daughters and granddaughters. I'm not going to tell no female what you should do with your body, between you and your God. That's so you know, to have a group of men who have no connection to decisions that they make, I think is wrong. I really do think is wrong. That's my concept on it.
So you think Congress should start enacting laws now to protect these other constitutional rights that could be at stake, like desegregation? I know professors have said that's at stake.
Voting rights.
We have been fighting for voting rights since 1964. We still fighting for voting rights. I mean, when it's going to say, okay, there's no reason to vote to fight for voting rights now, because you've got the right to vote. You know what I mean? So we fight for that every year. And that's, as far as Brown versus Board, you know, Brown versus Board, the conversation was not integration or segregation.
Okay.
That was not the original conversation. The original conversation was, why should I pass up a school to go to a school? Because we had mixed race in our community. But the blacks would go to one school, the whites would go to one school, they live next door to one another. So his question was, why should I pass up a school to go? It wasn't about sitting next to Jan or Dylan or whoever the case may be. That wasn't the original fight. The original fight was equal education, and if there's a school next door to my house, why can't I go there? That was the original fight. And so that's all that came about. But we always go to the Constitution. My ancestor was there when they wrote the Constitution, but they were serving food and drinks. So the decision was made in the Constitution was not made by people that look like us. It don't look like us. We didn't have no word whatsoever as far as the Constitution. Everybody, that time somebody argued about the Constitution, they turn the page, and whatever they decide to be is gospel. You know what I mean? You know, we keep saying about our constitutional right. Your constitutional right is one thing, and my constitutional right is one thing. Depends on what we interpret it to be, and that's the problem we got.
I got a question. As a school board member, the concern, do you guys have any concern that the way they draw the maps as it relates to the city council, the parish councils around the country, as a school board representative, are y'all maps closely drawn along the same lines, and are y'all concerned that the maps might change with the new redistricting in the future, and your position in your district you represent? Are you concerned about that in the future, or is everything written in stone for you guys?
No, it's not. I think, and I pat the members on the back, because we make the decision. The Congress does not make the decision for us. We make the decision, and we said that we look at the map, and we made the decision where the lines are being drawn as far as the voting, and we're doing that now. The district that Dr. Shashaw and I represent will not be diluted. It will not be diluted. We're going to find, and because of everybody's moving from the north side of town, it makes it more difficult, because you know at one time all the blacks were living in Macomb, VZ, Truman, places in Washington Heights, and places like that. But now our population is being diluted, and it's getting harder and harder and harder and harder to find that percentage of black to vote for. It's getting harder to do that. But we make the decision as to where the lines are being drawn.
And we know right now the state Supreme Court has Louisiana was supposed to get a second minority, which is a black congressional district. The Supreme Court has
The United States Supreme Court ruled.
the United States Supreme Court has had a stay on that. So and reenacted the one district map. Do you think having that second minority district would help the board secure extra funding from the federal government?
It should. You know, that's what it was supposed to be designed to do. And let me say back when Wallace and I was youngsters, you know, we
I'm still a youngster.
according to two or three other people, according to two or three other people, we knew the anger they had in the community because we can see that. But over the years, I'm trying to put this in a way, you know, over the years, due to integration, we believe that we are accepted. And so everybody love everybody. So it's okay. It's okay for me to deny you because we grew up together, we played ball together, we went to school together. So it's okay for me to deny you because, you know, you have come to my house and I've gone to yours. We have never gone to another people's house.
Right.
So we knew how much love we had or how little love we had. The youngsters don't know how little love they have. So they allow certain things to take place and allow themselves to be disrespected in something like that. How can you sit there and allow the person that sit across from you tell you that I don't think you should have equal representation? How can you come home and face your family and how disrespected they can disrespect you to tell you that I don't think you deserve, representation. You can't come home with that.
No.
You can't. You can't come home with that. So that's the same way I feel on the school board. I'm going to represent my constituent, because that's what they elected me to do.
Correct.
And you have some elected official that I feel like to go along to get along, and it's not that they need to go along to get along, but they choose that because the old saying go, it's easier to commit sin than it is to love someone.
Yes.
So in other words, it seems to see, Mr. Broussard, you got that notion that I defend my constituents at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we elected to do. I don't have any ill feelings toward anyone, but I go in my community. I don't shy away from no one or no place. I still walk the street through because I got relatives there. So I got to face my constituents on a regular basis, and so I can't say something on the school board floor to go along with somebody else and then come back and face my children and grandchildren, because those are the ones that I defend.
Well, I'm glad you're doing things the way you're doing it. At one time, be frank with you, I thought you was a part of that, going along to get along.
No.
But I see now, because you're fighting for Black history to be in the school.
And it is.
Yeah.
And it is.
Way back in the days when my friend, he's deceased now, Bundy Jeffrey Landry Jr., we used to go to the school board and fight for history, true history in the school. Y'all don't want to teach Black history. This teach true history.
Yes.
And if you teach true history, guess what? Black history and everything gonna come out right.
That's right.
But you're only teaching history on one side, and the one-sided history that you're teaching lies. You're not telling the truth about what's really going on with our kids as students, trying to get an education, you know. So, and this is why we had a lot of black kids, you know, disgusted with school because they wasn't getting the history that they needed, and when they would get somewhere else, they would learn the history, and they turned them off in school, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mr. Broussard, is there any initiative to curb the young violence, gun violence, just violence, the crime throughout our young people? Is there any initiatives within the school board to get these people, these kids, in some type of training or get them counseling to try to curb the violence?
Well, there could be a lot of things. You know, first we don't have black teachers, that many black teachers to educate and to work with them, and to be totally honest, we don't see success in our neighborhood. The neighborhoods that we grew up in as children, seeing success, we always wanted to be like that teacher that taught us, or the principal that was there. Our kids in our schools do not see success. They want to have them lime green cars and because that's what they see. I am who I see, and if I don't see success, I don't believe I can achieve success. So that's one of the greatest problems in the neighborhoods that the old north side of town neighborhoods is predominantly rental property, and it's run down. The houses are old, and the youngsters that grew up there has gone away from there to want to come back. I don't blame them. You know, they want to move on. They want to have a better life, and I applaud them for that. And they want their children to go to what they consider better schools. But and I'm fighting to have all schools the same. So whatever book you've got at south side of town is the same thing as the north side of town. But you choose to bring your child someplace else, and you choose to live someplace else, that's fine. But I tell them all, come home every now and then. Mm-hmm. Come home and to the church that you belong to and visit. Say, well, I achieved this success by doing this and that and that. But if I don't see you, I don't know how to get to where you are.
Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at your shirt, and I just noticed it said "Love Our Schools," mm-hmm. and we know that's an initiative out there. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, the Love Our School came a couple of years ago with a group of, like I say, the Stella Foundation, the Pew Foundation, and they put a lot of money into trying to bring some of our schools up to par. They pump a lot of money into it, a lot of initiative. They're trying to pump a little bit more money into it because of the laws that prevent them from paying extra money. They cannot do that. But they've gone in a few weeks ago, they went in, they cleaned up J.W. Falk. I think last year or year before the pandemic, we cleaned up Alice Boucher and Calcrow Heights. And they're putting people and money into programs, and think now it's 10 schools to bring us to try to bring our more challenged schools to par, and it's and they need to be applauded for that. Now, somewhere down the line, we want to recognize the people that's doing that. It was the school, but one thing you would want to do in the school, we want to do with the schools, we want to do away with that program. If we do away with, if we are only successful if we do away with it. By that I mean we are no longer a D school. We are a B school or C school, we have achieved our goal. So our goal is not to have this program anymore. We have got the books in there, we've got the educators in there, we've got whatever we need to make sure that these schools are successful, and that's the goal, to rid ourselves of that.
Is there any employment opportunities? And if so, how if someone wanted to apply, how would they apply?
There's a website that's posted on a regular basis as far as jobs and opportunities that open up. I don't know it because I don't. I don't.
You don't need no job.
I don't want a job. I don't want a job.
Right now, we got about 3 more minutes, and we would like to give you a chance to have your closing
Comments.
I want to say to the community that during graduation, I witnessed a lot of success. And before graduation and in school level, I went to a play, for several plays. I'm always invited to something the school is doing. Mm-hmm. I went to Alice Boucher to a Spanish speaking program. They had 150 Spanish speaking kids that put on a play, poems and singing and all of this other stuff like that. And 95% of the kids that was in the program was kids that look like us, speaking Spanish. I didn't understand a word they say, but I applaud them and their parents and the young man and the young lady who was a mistress and the master of ceremony spoke and read so fluently in Spanish that I was just amazed. Mm-hmm. And I went to several programs. That's one of the many I went to, and I looked out in the audience for the graduation program. People, applaud these young men and young women as being successful, because they are. Quit harping on the negative in the community and go out and see the success in the community.
Right.
Just go out there and see the percentage that we are gaining in our community with these schools. Let's quit gossiping about the negatives and go out and applaud the positive. If you see a student achieving something, applaud them. Applaud them, wish them well, support them. So that's my message to you, is that we got to start trying to applaud the success in our community and quit harping on the negatives. All right?
Okay, thank you.
Nope.
Well, we done wind our time down, and I want to take a minute to thank School Board Representative Elrod Broussard for all that he's doing. Thanks for coming and informing our listeners what is really going on with the kids and in the school. And I want to thank everyone for, we got a call coming in now.
You got time? 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning, caller. We got to take your call to 60 seconds.
Hey, Wallace and Keith and Elroy, this is a Southside white listener, and I just want to let you know that we do appreciate you. And it's not only black people that are listening to you, there are some white people out here that appreciate the situation that you find yourself in. We know that Lafayette will be a lot better when the community is totally integrated, and that the school like Northside and Carencro and so forth that tend to have a higher black concentration there are as good or better, and we don't just need black people at Lafayette and Como and so forth for the football team. We need you as scholars.
All right.
That's my ending word. Thanks.
All right. Thank you for the call.
Thank you, caller, for calling in, and we so will address that issue, because we don't need a north side and a south side. We need one parish, one city.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, and then again, I want to thank everyone for allowing us to come into the eyes, into the heart, and into the home. We appreciate the call, and we appreciate everybody listening. Keith is on you.
Well, I want to thank Mr. Elroy Bruce, our District 3 council member, getting a lot of things done in the community for our young people. And I just want to thank him for coming in today. He's putting out some of the plans that the board have going on for District 3. And he made it through bad weather, so
Yeah.
came in. Thank you, Mr. Broussard. Thank you to all our listening and viewing audience. Till next Friday, we're going to try to have his counterpart, District 4, school board member Timmy Shatch on. So we're going to try to keep it educational, keep going on the educational level, and making sure our young people get what they need. Thank y'all.
Activate your spirit.
Okay, we out. Hold up, well, no open mics.